Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our service, please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices or place them in silent mode. Thank you.
Kerachem av banim, richam Adonai yireav, we learn in the book of Psalms. As a father's compassion for his children, so may Adonai, our God, have compassion for all the family and friends of Les Dichter, who we come here to remember today. God knows how we are fashioned. God remembers that we are dust. Our days are like grass. We flourish as the flowers of the field. A wind passes over us. We are no more. But we trust that God's compassion is everlasting. God's kindness to children's children endures age after age, unchanging. We begin our service by reciting Psalms, thus linking Les's life to our ancient tradition, to the Jewish people, and to the eternity of God.
Shir lamalot esayna eleharim me'ayin yavo Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz Al yitain lamot raglecha, al yanum shomerecha. Hinei lo yanum v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael. Adonai shomerecha, Adonai tzilcha, al yad yaminecha. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach balayla. Adonai yishmorcha mikora, yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmor tzedcha u'boecha, me'ata ve'ad olam.
Psalm 121, a song for ascents. I lift my eyes to the mountains, from where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. Adonai will not let your foot give way, your guardian will not slumber, for the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your protection, a guardian at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm and will guard your soul. Adonai guards your going and coming, now and forever. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai ro'i lo echsar, binotesha yarbitzeni, halmei menuchot yinahaleni. Nafshi yeshovev. Yancheni b'magleit tzedek leman shemo. Gam ki elech begates al mavet, lo irara ki ata imadi. Shivtecha u'mishantecha hema yenachamuni. Taroch lefanai shulchan neged sorarai. Dishanta v'shemen roshi kosi revaya. Ach tov v'chesed yirdefuni kol yemei chayai. V'shavti beveit Adonai le'orech yamim. Those were the Hebrew words of Psalm 23, also known as the Shepherd's Psalm, a psalm that we turn to in difficult moments such as this one. I'll invite you to recite with me the English translation of Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen.
Shul on Shabbat morning, we're currently reading from the book of Bereshit, the book of Genesis, where we learn that when a loved one passes away, it's members of his family who come forward to share stories and memories and reflections. And as that ancient tradition we continue here today, as first we'll call upon Les's daughters, Rachel and Tama, then his granddaughters, Bree, and then Charlie. Rachel, Tama.
Dad, we stand here today with hearts full of memories, some soft as sunrise, some loud with laughter, some rough around the edges, yet all of them stitched with a love that grew stronger than anything we ever faced. We remember Saturday mornings, just you and us, cartoons humming in the background, Muppets dancing, Daffy Duck quacking, our own little world before the day began. We remember the Trivial Pursuit death matches, where the battles were heroic, the victories legendary, and the laughter unstoppable. Remember ski trips, you telling us no pin unless you can ski the Black Diamonds, as if courage was something you could tuck into a jacket pocket and keep forever, and somehow, because of you, we did. We remember summertime adventures, those loop-de-loop roller coasters you insisted we could conquer, even when our knees shook with equal parts terror and excitement, but you were beside us, hands steady, grin wide, and somehow the fear turned into triumph every single time. Remember your homemade salad dressing, a staple of our kitchen, shaking it in the glass mayonnaise jar bottle that, like some magic potion, you perfected through love and patience and just the right amount of vinegar. Remember your silly faces, the jokes that arrived exactly when we needed them, the way you tickle our feet to wake us up, no alarm clock could ever compete. Remember the strength of your hugs, the kind that could reset an entire day, the kind that made the world feel safe again. And more than anything, we remember no matter what, no matter the hour, the problem, the storm, when we needed you, you were always there.
You were the dream teacher who taught us how to dream ours, the artist who was never too busy to teach us, pencil in hand, patience in your voice. And even when we called 100 times for advice we didn't always listen to, you still answered. We wish now that we listened every single time. We remember the years of fish tanks bubbling like tiny oceans, ship models carved with impossible detail, bridge parties that lasted late into the night, and fishing trips that felt like entire summers packed into a single day. We remember teasing you about dating way too many Carols and playing a protective dad with that twinkle that only you had. And through every chapter, you showed us what it meant to work hard, to stay steady, to keep going, not in speeches, but in your everyday. We had our struggles, of course we did. But in life, as a way of sanding down the sharp corners, and somewhere along the way, we found our place in each other's lives. And what grew from there was the tightest, truest kind of family love. Dad, thank you for the childhood magic, for the lessons disguised as adventures, the humor, the grit, the unwavering presence. Thank you for being our home, our home. Our home base, our constant, our compass. We will carry your laughter in our hearts, your wisdom in our bones, your love in every step forward. And although we say goodbye today, we know our story isn't ending. It's just finding a new way to shine. We love you, Dad, always and forever.
Thank you, Tama and Rachel. Now we call upon Bree.
poem I've modified for Zeta. If tomorrow starts without you, and you're not here to see, if the sun should rise and find my eyes all filled with tears to be, you wish so much we wouldn't cry the way we did today, while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you care for me, and how much I care for you, and each time that I think of you, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without you, please try to understand that an angel came and called your name and took you by the hand and said your place was ready in heaven far above, and that you'd have to leave behind all those you dearly love. But as you turned to walk away, a tear fell from my eye. For all your life, you never really wanted to ever say goodbye. You had so much to live for and so much yet to do. It seemed almost impossible that you were leaving too. I thought of all the love we shared and all the fun we had. If I could relive yesterday, I thought just for a while, I'd say goodbye and hug you tight and maybe see you smile. When you walk through heaven's gates, you'll feel so much at home when God looks down and smiles at you from his great golden throne. He'll say this eternity and all I've promised you. Today your life on earth is past, but here you'll start anew. I promise no tomorrow, but today will always last. And since each day's the same, there's no longing for the past. And when I thought of worldly things that you'd miss come tomorrow, I thought of us, and when I did, my heart was filled with sorrow. So if tomorrow starts without you, don't think we're far apart. For every time I think of you, please know you're in my heart. So Zeta, if you can hear me from beyond the fog we see, please know that you are always the very best part of me. And though we cry and miss you more and more each day, we will always love you and everything you are in every single way. So please be at peace and rest forever now. And take these words we say as our eternal vow. Tomorrow will start without you, and that is the hardest thing. But we will continue on with heads held high and look towards the spring. I know that's what you wanted, though it's far too much to ask. But I promise you that we will try to be ready for the task. We'll miss you every day, and your hugs we did adore. Just know that when we mean it, when we say we love and miss you more.
Now we'll invite up Charlie, who will sing a song for her Zeta.
There's a hole in my heart, the size of the sky, and I don't know what to do. Do I hold it all in, or keep my tears out of sight, or do I let them fall, let them carry me through? Do I speak your name in the quiet of night, let my feelings fly like a bird in the sky? There's a hole in my heart, the size of the world, and I don't know where to turn. Do I go to my mom, let her hold me tight? Do I talk to a friend? I try to learn to live without you, or let my heart cry like a bird in the sky. And nothing will ever be big enough to fill the place you left behind. But I hear your voice in the wind sometimes, and I know I'll be alright. There's a hole in my heart that won't go away, but your love still carries me like a snowbird flying across the sky. You're still watching quietly. So I'll take their memories, take their place, and I'll face what's mine to face with the strength you left behind in me. There's a hole in my heart the size of the sky, but your love helps me fly like a bird in the sky.
Thank you, Charlie and Bree and Tam and Rachel, for sharing those beautiful memories and also beautiful reflections in poetry and in song about Les. We know that just a few days from now, on Sunday night, we will begin the holiday of Hanukkah. And at the darkest time of the year, we mark Chag Urim, the festival of lights. We dispel the darkness by lighting candles each night. And I think there's a lesson in this practice as we gather together today here to remember Les. This is a dark moment. We are all saddened by his passing. And yet, as we heard from Tam and Rachel, the memories that we share illuminate his life and in turn illuminate our lives as well. Les grew up in Havertown, the son of Sam and Ann and the brother of Joni. Early on, he wanted to be an architect, but life took him in a different direction into the family business as a fruit broker, connecting farmers and supermarkets. Les worked hard and took pride in doing his work well. After he graduated from Villanova, Les planned on going to graduate school, but he was drafted into the Navy. He served for 4 years, from 1968 to 1972, including in Vietnam. Even in those dark times, Les's service provided some light. It was during his Navy service that Les met Carol. Rachel and Tammy, you shared the story with me the other day, and it's a great story. Les was stationed in California, and he was on leave in San Francisco. Carol had come out there after graduation from college, and it was Rosh Hashanah. And they both happened to go to services at the same synagogue. At one point, the rabbi invited all the single people to come back later. And at that moment, Les looked at Carol, a woman he had never met before, and said, "So what do you want to do in the meantime?" And that was it. They were married soon after, while Les was still in the Navy, and they began to build their life together. They moved from San Diego to Lindenwold and then to Cherry Hill. We know that Rachel came along and later Tama, and they both shared wonderful memories about their dad. Memories about watching cartoons and breakfasts and fishing and skiing and all the games of Trivial Pursuit as well, that he would never let you just win. He made sure that it always was a game. That's how Les was. Every game, every puzzle, every crossword puzzle that he did in pen always became an opportunity to learn. And you said that when Les got into something, he really got into it. He had many passions and hobbies throughout his life, whether it was golf, model building, art projects, macrame, or his very detailed ship models that took hundreds of knots and endless patience. Rachel, you recalled his love for sci-fi. He took you to each of the Star Wars movies in the theaters when they came out. And Tama, you recalled the marathon movie days when he would get all the Star Trek movies or Back to the Future movies, a bunch of snacks, and you'd watch them straight through. Les also loved technology. He was the first to have a VCR, an Atari, a car phone. Remember those big car phones? That's what Les had to have. And of course, he was an avid Phillies and Eagles fan and enjoyed collecting, especially those pewter dragons and castles he got in New Hope. And as we know, he had a love of music. Billy Joel, Kingston Trio, Yanni, classical. Music was always on in the background. And Les also had a love of dogs, and he was particularly great at naming those dogs. Growing up, you said you had Apple and Dumpling, and later he had a dog named Dog, Woof, Arf, and Junior. He also loved cooking, as we heard about his salad dressing and applesauce as well he made from scratch, which I imagine would come in handy this time of year for latkes on Hanukkah. Judaism was something that was important to Les. He was raised in a traditional home, and this especially showed at TBS, where Les and the whole family have been deeply involved for many years. He poured his creativity into designing the synagogue's needle points that hung on the walls of the shul when it was in Haddon Heights. And he was also part of the men's club, participated in a family Israel trip with Rabbi Lindemann, and helped carry the Torahs to the new building in Cherry Hill. Les's commitment and dedication helped bring light to our community. And of course, Les was also very proud of his family. Rachel and Tama, your education, your accomplishments, your independence. He was thrilled when Rachel went to law school, when Tama earned her master's. And he was especially proud of Bree and Charlie. He was so proud of you, Bree, of your studies to become a child life specialist, and he delighted in Charlie's talents and achievements. In the hospital, I understand he was working on a t-shirt with you for the family. He was a doting Zeta, planning trips, celebrating milestones, and I know he was so proud at your bat mitzvahs as well. He surely brought much light to your lives. In later years, Les shared his life with CJ of blessed memory. They built a beautiful partnership filled with travel, cruises, and bridge. And in more recent years, Les's relationship with Lonnie brought him comfort, care, and joy. Like we add candles to our Chanukiah each night, Les added the lights of loved ones to his life. And Les, we know, could be strong-willed. He expected a lot from himself and from others. And part of that was his pride, and part of it was being proud of being a first-generation American in the family. But it was also the way he showed his love, by challenging and working to shape the people around him to reach their best. And this, I think, was on display during these last difficult weeks and days. Even in the hospital, you said Les showed the charm that lit up every hospital room and the warmth that made every nurse enjoy his company. He also reached out for you, Rachel and Tama, for hugs, support, connection, and love. And you each gave it to him beautifully. Each of you showed your dedication and devotion to your dad by heading down to Florida to care for him. And as his health issues became more serious, you stayed by his side, playing music when you weren't even sure what exactly he wanted to listen to, and even working with the nurse to smuggle him out of the hospital one night, something that he was definitely not supposed to do, just to give him some fresh air and a glimpse of the moon. You certainly have fulfilled the mitzvah of Kibud Av, of honoring your father, with your tremendous love and care. Your love for him helped bring a measure of light to some very difficult days. Like the Shamash, the Hanukkah candle that lights all the others, Les used his flame to nurture the light in others. And at home, a bit later today, you will kindle a memorial candle in your dad's memory. And like the lights of Hanukkah, it will add to the brightness of your memories. The candle goes out, but the light of memory remains, bringing warmth and blessing and illuminating all the days to come. And that's why we can say, Yehi Zichro Baruch, may Les's memory always be for a blessing. We rise for a final prayer.
El male rachamim shochein b'mromim hamseh menucha nechona tachat kanfei hashechina b'malot kedoshim utzorim kezar arakim asirim et nishmat Yona Shlona ben Shmuel shalach lo lavo began Eden tehem enochato Ana bal rachamim hastireu beseter kenafecha לעולמים. וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני הוא נחלתו. וינוח בשלום על משכבו, ונאמר אמן, אמן.
Exalted, compassionate God, Grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and the pure, to the soul of Les Dichter, who has gone to his eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May his soul be bound up in the bond of life. May he rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. And now we'll turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah V'alma Divra Chirutei V'amlich Malchutei B'chayechon Uvyomechon Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'gala Uvizman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Omei Omaya Yit Barach V'yishtabach V'yipa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalev V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiranu B'yalama V'imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. You may be seated.
After the private burial, the family will be sitting Shiva at Tama and Rachel's home, 502 Jonathan Lane in Marlton. They'll be welcoming comforters today after 4 p.m. and tomorrow after 3 p.m., and there'll be services both evenings at 7:30 p.m. And on Friday, they'll be welcoming visitors from 1 to 4 p.m., and then they'll be at TBS for Shabbat. Then Shiva will resume on Sunday, beginning at 3 p.m., with the minyan again at 7:30 p.m. Then they'll be sitting Shiva privately on Monday and Tuesday.